Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while that I posted a new video. The last video was my daughter's 16th birthday celebration. After that I could not really post any video because I was busy with some work. And also we had some friends who visited us from Washington DC. So they were here and we were really busy, so I really couldn't post anything. So this video is from our last week trip. We went to a place called Xilitla. So these are a few pictures on our way to that place. Xilitla, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It starts with X. I will just post the name here. And this is around 5 hours away from Queretaro, from where I live. And I would say this is a must visit place. You must go if you have plans of visiting Mexico, or if you want to see a small town here in Mexico, because it's a completely different experience, especially for people living in Queretaro, Guadalajara or Mexico City. Our lives become very mechanical living in such big cities. So when you go to such small towns, your perspective and your thinking completely changes, because the life there is completely different. So to go to Xilitla, you have to go from Sierra Gorda if you're passing through Queretaro. And Sierra Gorda, I think most of you know that it's a very beautiful place, another beautiful place. But the roads here are super zigzag and curvy. So you have to be very careful when you're driving. You cannot just blindly close your eyes and drive. You have to be very cautious. On our way, we stopped at many places to take a lot of pictures. So this was one of such place. There was no name written on this, and I don't know what is the name of this place because I couldn't find this in Google also. But this is a small viewpoint where there was a cross like this, and also many writings from the Bible, as you can see here. But I couldn't find any particular name, so I really don't know what it is called. But you will find this when you're driving via Sierra Gorda, so I'm sure you'll find it. And the viewpoint from here is spectacular. So we stopped by to take some beautiful pictures here. And since it was very hot, we couldn't really spend a lot of time here, but yes, we took many pictures and enjoyed this place, and then we continued our journey from here. So this is how it looked overall, and from there the viewpoint was spectacular. I will post the pictures at the end so you can see it. And as I was saying, Sierra Gorda is another beautiful place, and it's not very far from Queretaro where I live. It's just 2 hours drive, and from here when we go further is where is our final destination. So the complete drive to Xilitla is around 5 hours, but we took around 7 hours to reach there, because as I said, we were stopping at many places. Since our friends are from United States, we wanted to show them and make them feel how Mexico is. So we stopped at many places to take pictures, to enjoy the local food and things like that. So we took a lot of time, extra time. So after taking the pictures in that viewpoint, we were crossing through a small town. So we stopped by there to have our lunch. And I don't know the name of this small town, but we stopped here and we looked for a restaurant. I think this is in Sierra Gorda itself. So we stopped by to go to this restaurant. It was called Mirador. Mirador means like a viewpoint again. So from there again you could see the whole city. So we stopped here to have lunch, and luckily they also had some good options for vegetarians, because our friends were pure vegetarians, so they did have some options. Well, in Mexico, when you say vegetarian, the only options that you would get is tortillas, obviously, with beans and potatoes and some vegetables. So don't expect vegetarian options like we get in India, but yes, you do get some options, because I do get questions asking whether we get vegetarian options here in Mexico. So we stopped by here and we had some yummy, delicious lunch. This is how it looked from that restaurant. So this was the vegetarian options that our friends got. Basically tortillas fried in beans with some vegetables on the top, and we had some tacos with camarones, which is prawns. After having that delicious lunch, we started driving further, and by then it was around like 3 p.m. so we kept driving, and it took us more 3 to 4 hours to reach Xilitla. So here we are leaving Queretaro and we were entering San Luis Potosi. Actually, San Luis Potosi is just 2 hours drive from Queretaro, but Xilitla is, I think, at the extreme end of San Luis Potosi. So this route was different, and we had to go through Sierra Gorda, and that's why it took around 5 hours to go there. But yes, the drive was worth it. The main destination for us was a castle and a waterfall near the castle. The castle is called Edward James Castle. So here we are entering to that castle. But by the time we reached there, it was 6:30. So we knew it would be closed, but we just wanted to go and see how the place is. So this is the outer look of the castle that we are going to visit the next day. But we just went there in the evening to see how it would look and to see if there were any hotels nearby. So we just stopped by. It was around 6:37 p.m. by then, and it was obviously closed. 5 years back we had visited this place while we had gone to San Luis Potosi, but at that time we didn't get the tickets because there was a big line, and we didn't have the time to wait, so we came back without visiting the place. But I remember going to this place and coming back without the tickets. So this time what we did is we tried to book the tickets online itself, and luckily we had the tickets for the next day. So we just went here the previous day, and we wanted to, as I said, to stay in a hotel close to this place so we don't waste time the next day morning. The weather was very hot when we started from Queretaro, but as we reached Xilitla, the weather was a little more better. But yes, it was very sultry and dry. It was very hot, so it was not a perfect time to go. But luckily the hotel that we stayed had air conditioner, and the next day the weather was even better, so it was okay for us. So our next plan was to stay in a hotel. So we went to a hotel which was very close to the castle. This is how the hotel looked, but unfortunately it was overbooked and we couldn't get a room. So we drove to the downtown of Xilitla, and look, you can see how small this town was. The roads were very narrow, and it was a very small place. So we were really not sure if there would be a good hotel. There were many small hotels, or you could say there were many houses which were converted to hotels. So you really have to look online, or you can just drive around and find a place. But luckily we got one which was there in the downtown. It was a small one, but it was very clean and well maintained. It was around 750 pesos for one room, which is okay, I think, because it was not bad. It was clean and neat. So I will just show you the room, how it was. For a small place like that, this was a pretty decent hotel. And of course the Wi-Fi and the network connection was bad in this area because, as I said, it was a small place, and obviously the connectivity was not that great. But I think that is the purpose of going on a vacation, to be disconnected with outer world. So this is how the hotel room looked, a small one, a decent bathroom with a double bed. Since it was only me and my husband with the family, our kids didn't join us, they stayed back. At night we got freshened up, and then we decided to go eat something. We were not really sure because it was already 8:30 p.m. and since it was a small town, we were not sure if they had any good restaurants. As we walked, we also found that there were not very good restaurants here in the downtown, but luckily we found one cafe which was open. And another thing you have to remember is such small towns, they close very early. So if in case you are staying there, try to eat your dinner early. This was the cafe that we went. Well, basically a balcony converted to cafe. They had put some small tables, but thank God they had something for us for dinner. Like they made some mushrooms and with cheese, and they also had some tacos. So we had a pretty good decent dinner there. And surprisingly, the owner of this cafe was speaking English. He told us that he did his education in United States and then he decided to come back to Mexico and start a cafe here, and he loves this place and that's why he stayed back here itself. So after a 7 hours drive and a good dinner, we went and took rest, and next day we visited the castle. I have here some pictures which we took on our way to this Xilitla. Hope you like this video. I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.